Hi everyone, it's Nathara, and today I'm going to be going over the Dance of Vanity Encore light chase that we have going on right now. I don't have any pulls because this is just an encore, but I did do 311 pulls. So as this is an encore, as usual, most of you have already know what some of these look like if you have participated in Styling Wizard, so I'm not going to go too in depth over these specific pieces in like this section right here. I do really love the butterfly set though, and of course the curtain banquet set is really pretty, though I do feel like it got a little bit of a short end of the stick compared to the butterfly suit, and definitely compared to the double 5 stars that come out nowadays. It just feels a little less like I don't know how to put it. A little less there's a little less oomph to it. I mean, the butterfly one, there's still a lot going on, a lot of detail that you can look at, but the curtain banquet one is just a little less, you know? And the 4 star for this one, Mellow Peach, I hardly use this one. I do use the glasses, which I will show. For our loose 6 star pieces, we do have some shoes, some earrings, and some more earrings. For our loose 5 star, we get a face piece, a little frog hat, some earrings, and a little tattoo. And I can't remember if any of these were new by then, but we also have some makeup, bloody iris contacts. I don't use these too often. Solitary crease contacts, I use these a bunch. It's a little weird how often I use them just because they're so gorgeous. I guess it's not weird, I mean they're gorgeous contacts. This lipstick Twilight Haze, I glaze. I do not use this one too much. We get 3 face paints that are actually really good, which I will show later. Again, I don't remember anything down here, but our ally, we do get Gerald's Ocean Journey, and for our decom, let me click through all this. You do get this super adorable hair. My goodness, this little dress, which I already have dyed, but it does remind me of like a little princess gown. And then this little handheld, which I already have dyed. All of this I've had since the first rerun of it. For our items, you do have this half-length pose for our gaze, the option to get this avatar frame, and of course this dynamic pose roaming dream. It's not bad, but I just ended up not getting it because I don't see anything spectacular inside of it that would make me want to spend 450 decom points on it, because we have plenty of other like slow dancerly type poses. So yeah, there was just nothing for this one for me personally. And here is the ally card of Gerald before it's evolved. As you can see, that's definitely got to be MC in the back, right? Like holding the ropes on him. Or, I mean, it has to be, because usually if anybody else is in the picture, it's MC. And here's the card evolved. Again, I am always super curious how we get from one part to another. I like this picture. I think they did a good job with it. And for evolving him, you do get this perfect moon little hairpiece. It is a dumpling, so it is very small, and it does just sit right there on the side of your head. You do get 3 die slots with it. The first is going to be the dumpling base. The second is going to be the cheeks and the mouth, and the third is going to be the eyes and then the barrette clip. It does have all sorts of positions that you can stick it into. With edit accessory, you can scale it up and move it all around again. So here is Snowclad Butterfly and its original die. She's super cute, and her little idol is adorable. I love that little, like where she cups her face. I think it's super cute. And I'm willing to forgive it for the butterflies that it's covered in, because I kind of just really like the way they applied the butterfly effect to this one. You can see it in the dress, in the layers of it, even with the back of the bow being butterfly wings. I think it's really cute. They did this one well. They didn't just like make it a tacky butterfly dress. And she is mostly dyeable. It is one of the outfits, you know, they're continually updating the dye options and everything. The only thing I think that I still have a problem with are these laces on the front of the shoe. They do still have this like oil slick effect on them, and the glitter on the shoes also cannot be dyed. I think whenever they updated the dyes on this dress, they only updated the dye slots on the dress itself and not the accessories or anything. I really can't remember, but let's go ahead. So for our hair, I do really like the hair. I like the way the bangs are and these two little buns. So for our first dye slot, you get the top of the hair, and as you can tell right off the bat, the ombre on it is very sharp right here. I don't like that. I kind of wish it would have faded up a bit more, or at least, you know, how these shorter curly bits. I wish the shorter curly bits also had a tint of blue, so it just looked like all of her tips were blue, and it wasn't just like you dipped your head inside of a, you know, like a tubby of dye or something. You know what I'm saying? For our dress, we do have 15 dye slots, and I know this is more than what it originally had, but I can't for the life of me remember how many it originally had. So for our first dye slot, you get this tinge down here, and with the glitter, you can see that there is a bit of orange that comes with it. It does have like a little, and even kind of purple, you know, you see that? It's pretty. For our second dye slot, you get the back wings. Again, they do have the kind of like, you can see it hinting in the highlights, the orange and almost green right there. Slot 3 is the ombre for the underskirt and the ombre for the butterfly wing set in the front right there. Our fourth dye slot are these streaks right here on the, I guess, overskirt and then the middle butterfly. Our fifth is the top skirt ombre and some of the boning and the ombre on these gems in the front. So together that ombre looks like this. It's really pretty. I do like that the glitter kind of changes. Like whenever you had it red, it was like orange and greenish, but with the blue, it's kind of more purpley. It looks really pretty. Our fifth dye slot is the other pleats, and then like this lace and the oversheer right here and the lace on the back. Our seventh is the ribbons and then the under part right here. Our eighth is that lacy bit right here that goes down the center of your chest. Slot 9, we are getting into the pearls and then the metalwork that lines the gems, as well as that very center butterfly piece. Number 10 is your crystals. Number 11 is the two butterflies and the floating butterfly that goes round. Number 12 is the glitter and then the like tiny little butterflies that flutter about the dress, as well as the sparks that come off the center gem in the back. Number 13 is your corset base. Number 14 is the ombre on that butterfly piece, and I do believe this was an addition because I think it used to dye solid, because otherwise it doesn't make sense for it to be so far away from its original like ombre pair, because it is slot number 3 that it pairs with, and I don't know why they made it so far down. However, I do like that there is a light effect built in. And slot 15 is your glitter, because now they are making it to where your glitter is dyeable, at least on the dresses. Maybe they'll get to the shoes and, you know, other accessories someday. For our socks, we do only get 3 dye slots. The first is the butterfly. Sorry, let me figure out how to zoom properly, my goodness. Slot 2 is the strands and the pearls. I don't like that. And slot 3 is the crystals on the butterflies. I kind of wish, you know, there would have been 4 dye slots to keep the pearls and the strands separate. And for our shoes, we do get 5 dye slots. The first is going to be the base of the shoe. I can't tell if that's metal. If it is, that has probably got to be a very uncomfortable shoe. Our second dye slot is the butterflies in the back. Our third is the metal butterflies on the back. Our fourth is the overlay for the little straps right here, and as you can tell, if we make it a light color, it'll be true to its color, but if you make it dark, you'll start to see the like oil effect on them. And slot 5 is the dust that comes out of the back of the butterflies. For our hair, we do have 4 dye slots, the first of which is going to be these front 2 butterflies. And then also underneath the back side of the other butterfly, you can see it's kind of a little difficult, but it's like the underside of this hairpiece right here. Our second slot are these 3 butterflies right here. Our third are the chains that come down. And our fourth is the light particles and the crystals. And this does come in 4 separate pieces. So you have the kind of like left side butterfly, you have the right side butterfly, and for the back you do have this piece right here, which you can move to the front of your head, which I really like. And then the last piece is going to be the little kind of like chains that come down from the bun area right there. That one is specific to the hair, but everything else you can keep position 1, 2, and 3. You just don't get those extra little chains that come down. But again, I think my favorite part was because before we could move the accessories around, this was really nice to have to be able to move to the front because it was super unique. But now you can kind of move this stuff all around. For our earrings, you do have these, it's like the oil slick casing on the pearls in the center, but your first die slot is going to be the metalwork, your third is going to be the crystals, and your fourth is going to be the regular pearls and the encased pearls. And for our necklace, we do have 4 die slots. The first is going to be your metalwork, second is going to be the tips of the wings on the butterflies, like the little decorative parts of them, and as you can see, there is a bit of like extra glitter in them. You can see that orange and purple. I don't know what to call that effect. It kind of reminds me, you know, whenever you used to put glue on a piece of paper and then you would dump a vat of glitter on it to make a thing. It kind of reminds me of that. Like we just threw a bunch of glitter on some glue and that's what it looks like. I mean, it's cute. I like it, but that's just like what comes to mind when I see it. Our third is the crystals, and our fourth is the sheer body of the butterflies. And for our cuffs, you do only have 2 die slots, the base of the cuff, and then the metal and crystal part of the butterflies. I wish all of the metal would have been on one thing and all the crystals on the other. And for our bracelets, I'm guessing, I can't remember what, I think these are the gloves and the other things are the bracelets. The cuffs on the biceps are the bracelets. So for these gloves, Soft Dream, you do get 4 die slots. The first, sorry, I'm gonna try and get in here, is this part of the metalwork. The second is the cuffs, and then even the ones that go around the thumb. Your third is the minor beads, and your fourth is the crystal work. And for our ring, we get 3 die slots. The first is going to be the transparent butterfly wings. The second is going to be that glitter decorative part on the edges. And the third is going to be the crystals. And then of course you cannot dye tattoos, but it is a cute tattoo. And here is Curtain Banquet. I really love the stance that comes with this dress. I do really like all the ruffles on this and the detail in it. It's really pretty, and I do love the umbrella. However, there is not too many like hand postures for it if you wanted to move it around. And I do love this like dripping chain that comes down the back. I think that's really pretty. Even the crystal work is nice. And of course the coat piece, these sleeves are super cute. It was the piece I was most excited for whenever I got this dress. And here she is dyed fully black. If I recall correctly, nearly everything is fully dyeable. You do have this one pearl on the back that has the oil casing on it, but it is on her back, so you can't really notice it. I can't remember the socks off the top of my head, but after we do the dress dive, I will take that off so we can see the socks and the shoes. So I'm going to start with our hat, that way we can free up the hair because it does cover a majority of it, but we get 9 die slots, and the first is going to be the base of the hat. The second is working into the flowers. The third is the ombre on those flowers. So together they look like this. It's got a really nice fade. Our fourth is the center part of the flowers. I can't remember what those are called. I always want to call them feelers, but that's like what's on bugs. So that's like terribly wrong. I know, I'll have to Google it. Our fifth is the underside of the hat. Our sixth is the light particles. And this used to be the last die slot, I believe, because usually the light particles are the last die slot. So these next 3 must have been added. Our 7th is the leaves. Our 8th is the kind of like wiry sheer part of the flower. And our ninth is the glitter on that part. And for our hair, we do get 2 dye slots. I love how like curvy the hair is styled. It reminds me of the ballroom dancers whenever they get their hair done. But this is still a little too loose for that, I think. But your first dye slot is a majority of it. And your second is just the little streaks that run throughout. It is a gorgeous hair, but it does clip with the pointed ears, as most things do. And for our coat piece, we do get 4 dye slots. The first is going to be the top ruffle, the second is the mid ruffle, the third is the lower ruffle, and the fourth is the like lining on the whole thing to make sure that everything is tied together. For a dress, we do get 10 dye slots. The first is going to be the base of the dress, and as you can see already, there is an ombre. The second is that ombre, so together they look like this. A very nice gradual fade. Our third is that under like poofy part right there that shoots out. Our fourth is the edging on that poofy part, so together they look like this, super cute. I do love this actually, like having the whole dress dyed black and just having this part be colorful. Our fifth is the filigree and some of the crystal work and metal work, all of that tied together. Always a joy to see. Our sixth is the inner part of the dress right here. I am still to this day curious why they decided to make this a dye slot all on its own. Our seventh is the collar. Our eighth is this little tassel. Our ninth is more crystal work. And the 10th is the little specks that flutter off the dress. And for our socks, we do get 3 dye slots. You get the sheer part, along with some of the crystals. Slot 2 is the stitching, and slot 3 is more crystals. So it is not fully dyeable if you count the glitter as a dye slot, since now they are starting to update dresses and everything to do that. For our shoes, we do get 4 dye slots. The first is going to be your base, along with the tassel in the back. Our second is going to be the flowers and crystals. Our third is going to be the metalwork and the dragonflies. And our fourth is going to be the big crystal dragonfly body parts. Sorry, that was a really bad way to say that. For our earrings, we do only get 2 dye slots. The first is the major crystal, and the second is everything else. I truly detest it. The gloves are, however, a wonderful match to the socks. They have 2 dye slots. The first is the sheerness and the stitching, and the second is all of the crystals, or not even all the crystals, just the other half. I don't know why they didn't give the gloves 3 dye slots like the socks so they could be dyed exactly the same. You know how you can kind of tell which of the 2 5-star suits they like better? I do believe they liked the butterfly suit more than they liked this curtain banquet one, because I feel like it didn't get the fair treatment that the butterfly one did. So for our handheld, we do get 5 dye slots. The first is going to be the base of your umbrella. The second is the handle and the tip. The third is your stitching. The fourth is the lace. And your fifth is the falling flowers. And for our ring, I cannot tell what it's supposed to be, but the first dye slot is half the crystals, and the second is the other half of the crystals. I kind of thought it was supposed to be a dragonfly, but this one doesn't look like a dragonfly at all. It kind of reminds me of a crystal fly from Genshin, if any of you have played that game. And that is everything for the curtain banquet set. I do like this dress, but again, I do feel like it got the short end of the stick compared to its sister piece, the butterfly set. There's just so much more going on with this one. Everything has more dye slots, and I don't know, I feel like it just got a little cheated compared to the other one. And here is our 4-star suit, Mellow Peach. She is super cute and adorable. My favorite part is definitely these fuzzy sunglasses. They are so fun. I'm not the biggest fan of all of the decals on the outfit. I do like the socks though, oddly enough, but again, I don't like the little decal. I kind of would have preferred it just have like the little spots on it. I mean, it's cute, but it does stop me from using it in like a variety of fits. The shoes are cute though, I do like those. And unfortunately, which is another reason why I don't use this suit too much aside from the glasses, is the undyeable parts, like the cheeks on the jacket, the grass on the top. the chain on the skirts, and I do think the socks are fully dyeable, so that's nice. And also the shoes are fully dyeable, so that is also nice, but I just don't use them too often because they don't really stand out amongst other things. Like, I have things that are already unlocked that look similar enough that I don't feel the need to unlock dyes for these items specifically. But for our coat, the first dye slot is the base of the coat, the second is the buttons and part of the dog, the third are the decals over here, and the fourth is the face of the dog, or the face and the body. Actually, is that a dog in a basket? Or is that a bear in a honey barrel? I can't tell. I think it's a basket, like a picnic basket. For our top, we also get 4 dye slots. The first is going to be the base of the shirt. The second is the ombre and the heart. And, oh, I almost thought that it was like a weird color because I accidentally clicked the wrong red. But together they look like this. I would actually use this shirt way more if it didn't have this decal on the front. Our third is the puppy outline, and the fourth is the flowers and stars. For our skirt, the first dye slot is the base, the second is the ruffle underskirt, the third is the polka dots, and the fourth is the button and hanging star. For our socks, the first is the base, the second is the bows, and the third is the polka dots and the puppy. For our shoes, we get 5 dye slots. The first is the base, the second is the little bows, the third is the heel, and then the wire and the other small bows. The fourth is the heart jewels, and the fifth is the lining and then the pearls. Quite a lot of dye slots for a 4-star shoe. For our happies, we do get 2 dye slots. The first is going to be the bulk of it, and the second is going to be the lenses. Pretty good for like superhero masks, you know? Not a bad outfit. I clearly already had mine previously dyed, but I just don't use it all that often. It's not one of my favorite 4 stars. It's actually pretty low on the 4-star suit rating for me. And here are the Silent Flight 6-star loose shoes. I do use these a bit. I even extended them so I could get to the black and white. They are fully dyeable and they do have 3 dye slots. The first is going to be the base of the shoe, the second is your metalwork, and the third is the tongue of the shoe. For our 6-star earrings, pearl tears, you do only get 2 dye slots. One that I really like because it's already gold and it has a white unlocked, so I have no need to unlock this myself because I only ever use the gold and white. But our first dye slot is going to be the metalwork, and the second is going to be the pearls, making them fully dyeable. And I do like that they are not the same earring on both sides. That is one of my favorite things of all, when everything's just kind of, it can be kooky and different, and yeah, I really like it. And here are the errant bunny earrings. I did already have mine dyed. They are fully dyeable, and thankfully they do come with black and white in the base colors, so unless you really just want a red or a gold or any of these other shades, you don't really need to unlock the palette, which is good because it does cost 18 veins, which is crazy. But they are fully dyeable, though they do have a slight cast on them. Your first dye slot is going to be the base of the earrings. Your second is going to be like the center belly and one of the ears. And your third is going to be the metalwork that holds the little heart on that side, and then the pike on that side. Oh, they don't have like an earring backing on this one. Usually they're pretty good at doing stuff like that. For our loose 5-star glasses, we have hazy mirror. There's only 2 dye slots. The first is going to be the front with glasses right here, super cute, and the second is going to be the stitching and then like the other side, so they are fully dyeable, and I do think these are super cute. I don't know why I haven't used them too often. They're gonna go great with like the TV look. I really do like that stitching that's there. That's adorable. Our next item is Croak. Croak, it is a little froggy headband. I have actually used this before in kind of like a frog prince outfit. You do have 3 dye slots. The first is going to be the band, the second is going to be the circly eye parts right there, and your third is going to be the very center of the eyeballs. So they are fully dyeable. And for our third loose 5-star, we get these double love earrings. Again, they only have 2 dye slots. The first is going to be all of your metalwork, and the second is going to be the, oh my gosh, the little crystals that sit in the heart swan. And our last loose 5-star item is this drawn on tattoo watch. It's not a bad piece, it's just another one that I just haven't used too often. Would be good if anybody wants to cosplay Doodle Bob. And here is our contact's Bloody Iris. It looks kind of like you're in the water and there's bubbles coming up and your pupil is blood red. I'm not sure what the intent for this was. I mean, they're pretty, but I don't understand. Maybe there's a shark in the water. And here is Solitary Cruise, certainly the better one out of the two pairs that you can get in this light chase. It is a galaxy, like I'm guessing it's kind of, I think I see moons reflected in there. I think it's actually just a single picture, like kind of like tied in there. I don't know. It kind of does look like that, especially the way with the stars, how they come in the same pattern over and over again. But these are really gorgeous. They look great on the black sclera too. And here is our facial paint Koi Cloud Dance. It is a couple of koi fish going around on your face. As you can see, they are very shiny. I do like the gloss. I like that the gloss is only on the fish and not on the water. And taking away from like the minor kind of like blooms of color around the water splotches, I think it does still look really good on the darker tones. Which leads us into Scarlet Rip, another one that looks really good because there's no excessive like blushing or lighting they added to the underside of it to make it stand out on the paler dolls. It is just a regular facial paint. It looks excellent on all skin tones in my opinion. Let me check the pale doll really quick. You do lose a bit of that brightness on like the white part, but it does kind of just, you can still see it at different angles, and especially you'd be able to see it if you tone down the halo or if you were in a darker scene. And here is Yearning Shadow. This is another one that is really good. It comes down into the eyes and the petal comes over. I think this one is gorgeous. It is also gorgeous on other dolls. Again, because there is no weird edging or lighting or shadowing, it is just the picture plopped onto your doll's face, which is what they should always be doing. I'll kind of like that her eyebrow matches the green of the facial paint. It makes it look like a wind balloon leaf. And for our lipstick Twilight Glaze, we do have 4 dye slots. And you do have the option to have no overlay, so you don't have to come in here and change it all the time. It does have a very galaxy feel to it, which I think is what it's supposed to have. I like all the mottled colors in it. It's really pretty. But here's your first dye slot up. And all the way down. Second down. And all the way up. Third up. And all the way down. Fourth down. And all the way up. And for our decom hair cloud bubblegum, she's super cute. I have her starlighted. She's adorable. Oh my gosh, I will never get over how cute these braids are. But for our first dye slot, you get the base, and the second you get the streaks that go without. She's adorable. I will always, always, always be so happy I was able to get this hair. As for the dress Misty Lake, not too much more exciting. I did like it because it does remind me of like, you know, princesses. I wish one day we'll get one of like those cone princess hats. I think that would be super cute. But for our first dye slot, actually hold on, let me dye it all black. So she is fully dyeable minus the glitter, but for the first dye slot you get the sheer outer part if you're trying to look like a vampire queen. Your second is the inner part of the dress along with the cuffs. And your third is the ombre and then the collar, so together they look like this. Not the best color combo in my opinion, and the fade is, it kind of eats away at the third color a little too much. You can't really tell it. Let me change this mid-tone to white. Oh, well that's kind of cute. Kind of like that. Not a bad dress, just not something I use too often. And for our handheld broken crystal, I do really like this one a lot. I have used it a fair amount, more than I thought I would whenever I first got it. But our first dye slot, it's going to be your metalwork, like every single one of those twigs. Your second is going to be half the crystals, and your third is going to be the other half of the crystals. So it does have a decent amount of customization considering all that it is. I do like all the metals in one place, and I do like that the crystals do have 2 die slots for themselves. And here is our half-length pose, far gaze, and here it is, it's a whole body pose. The legs don't really change too much. It is mostly meant to be a half-length pose as it is advertised as. It's not bad. I do like that her hands are up and around her face. Here it is with a right hand held in case you just want to have that portion of her face up there and have the other arm down. Here it is with a left hand held. I do kind of like this one. It does, if you have her like in a dancer outfit, it could be like you're parading around, you're kind of like a waitress showcasing an item or something, or like, please come here this way, you know, something like that. And here it is with a 2-hand held. I do like this one as well. She might be tilted a little bit too far for it to look natural, but it's not bad. It can add a bit of quirkiness. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm just trying to help it more than it's helping itself. And here is the expression for it all by itself. Not too expressive, she does just look off to the right. But that is everything I have for the Dance of Vanity light chase. I do hope you found this helpful and useful, or at least entertaining in deciding if you would like to pull in it or not. So, as always, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye!